How to behave.
Netflix is no longer allowed to advertise on Disney networks.
Find out how one student keeps her grades up.
Hello and welcome to QUTV News This Week. I'm Alexa Lowe.
And I'm Taylor King. Q students are conducting an interesting experiment. They're teaching slugs how to behave.
Students are poking and prodding the slugs to see if they can get the animals to respond. In the biology field are teaming up with Dr. Kimberly Hale to study aplasia, otherwise known as slugs. Awesome. These slugs are kept in saltwater where they are conditioned a couple times a week. Students bring each slug into their testing room where they record how each one reacts to being touched with a brush and poked with a needle. The objective is to condition the slugs to react to the brush so that they do not need to be poked with the needle. The students are only a couple of weeks into testing but have already seen results. This protocol that the students are using is set to be published by the research team in the near future.
It can be used in high schools or other undergraduate places for some psychology classes or neurobiology classes, so they can use our protocol.
Oh, he also
dang. He didn't really keep it in. But...
yeah, so maybe stick him just to be sure.
Dr. Hale writes down the results and hopes that by the end of the experiment, the slugs will only need to be touched with a brush to shrivel up.
We actually have developed an affordable, minimally invasive procedure for conditioning the aplasia.
A few of the slugs have already caught on to the conditioning and they frequently shrivel up from the touch of the brush. Others are still learning that if they shrivel up when touched with the brush, they will not get poked with a needle. The class also works with baby slugs by conditioning them to move towards food. Chunks of food are placed near them on a tray and the students test whether or not they move in the direction of the food. The research team will be showcasing their findings at the academic symposium in the spring.
Molecules are what Linda Hancock used to describe alcohol and drug abuse. During her presentation, Hancock spoke to students about her experience with molecules, vaping, and sexual partners. She gave students live results of what percentage of the student body vapes or drinks every day. Throughout the use of clickers, students participated in polling and the results were lower than expected. Hancock wants the students to recognize that they are typically healthier than they give themselves credit for.
Reasons. Molecules are not bad, good, evil, wicked. It's how you use them based on your genetics and what you want out of your life. But we don't give students much education, and so this is a chance to learn a few things and realize actually most people are pretty healthy.
Multiple sessions were held on Monday and Tuesday for students and faculty.
Quincy University students challenge themselves every day.
Here's how one student works to improve her grades.
Secret that Quincy University is known for its excellence in the classroom. But getting good grades doesn't always come easy for students. Lauren Worrell, a junior business marketing major, has pushed through her struggles.
Like a marketing major, you don't have that. So like once you graduate, like you just start your job. So it's important to me because I want to have a good GPA, so you know when I try to get a job that they see that like I've worked hard through college.
Worrell has worked hard in her studies, and even then, sometimes it will not work out in her favor.
Bad on a test, I normally try to talk to the teacher about like what I can do to help my grade. Normally they say just like practice more like problems and stuff before the test, or some teachers will recommend like writing papers.
Students can count on homework, group projects, and papers to make up for the bad test grades. To Worrell, homework is her key to success.
Or to get a degree, and so homework is kind of like the stepping stool to like getting your degree. So
for more help with classes or tests coming up, be sure to check out the list of tutors in the Student Success Center. The Campus CEO Club is gearing up for its annual haunted house this year. You now can earn service learning hours if you help out with a haunted house.
Discussed our volunteering opportunities and how we have service hours possibly, but the catch is that you have to write a 1 to 2 page reflection about what you learned from the haunted house, like what you got out of it, what you gave into it.
The CEO Club will give prizes to clubs and groups that helped during the event. First place winners will receive $250, second will receive $150, third winners will receive $75.
I hate when I'm trying to watch a movie and I keep seeing ads.
Yeah, so do I. Will the streaming service of Disney be having ads?
My major here at Quincy is exercise science, human performance, and basically that is going to set me up to get certified in strength and conditioning and personal training. So ultimately what I want to do after college is put my personal training career off to the side and join the military. For this upcoming summer, I have the opportunity to join the platoon leaders course, and basically what this is for the Marine Corps, it is officer candidate school. It's a 10-week program in Quantico, Virginia, and if I get accepted, I leave on June 1st, and I will train there for 10 weeks up until August 10th. My initial physical standards, and that consists of a 3-mile timed run, 2 minutes to perform as many pull-ups as I can, and 2 minutes to perform as many sit-ups as I can.
When you're thirsty and in need of a drink, water usually seems like the most refreshing idea.
But today's Health Minute, as refreshing as water is, it may not be the most hydrating choice. Andy Rose explains.
If someone were to ask what's the best drink to keep you hydrated, you and most people would probably answer water. Well, hate to break it to you, but good old H2O may not be the best option. That's according to a study from Scotland's St. Andrews University. Researchers compared the hydration responses of several different drinks and found that, yes, water does a pretty good job, but drinks with low amounts of sugar, fat, or protein do an even better job of keeping the body hydrated for longer periods of time. The study's author and professor, Ronald Mon, says one reason has to do with how our bodies respond to certain beverages. Consider the volume. The more you drink, the faster the drink empties from your stomach and gets into the bloodstream, where it can dilute the body's fluids and hydrate you. Another contributing factor is a drink's nutrient composition. Researchers tested 13 beverages to see which would keep you hydrated for at least a 4-hour period. The top 5: skim milk, oral rehydration solutions like Pedialyte, full-fat milk, orange juice, and cola. Water and sparkling water ranked 10th and 11th. I'm Andy Rose reporting.
Next time we're feeling thirsty, think about other options besides water. Disney is giving Netflix the boot. The mass media giant is banning the streaming service from advertising on some of its networks. Netflix ads will no longer run on ABC, FX, Freeform, and National Geographic. The unusual move comes as Disney pushes forward with its own streaming channel. Disney Plus is set to launch in November. The streaming service will cost $6.99 a month and comes with original content and hundreds of old shows and movies.
Not every dog can be a lifesaver like Lassie, but according to new research, owning a dog can reduce your chances of dying early.
In today's Health Minute, Meredith Wood explains why dogs matter.
I'm getting a belly rub.
They're called man's best friend for many reasons. And here's one more for you. Owning a dog can reduce the chance of dying early. A study published in the Journal of the American Heart Association combed through 70 years of research involving nearly 4 million people in several countries. The result? They found owning a dog was linked to a 24% reduction in all mortality causes. And for people who suffered a heart attack or stroke, having a 4-legged companion reduced their risk of dying from cardiovascular disease by 31%. This was echoed by a second study that found people who own dogs had better health outcomes after suffering a stroke or heart attack. It's unclear exactly what the link is, but there are guesses. For instance, increased activity. The American Heart Association points to a study that found pet owners who walk their dogs get 30 more minutes of exercise per day than those who don't walk. And other studies have found that just petting a dog or having a canine companion can reduce your blood pressure and reduce anxiety and depression. For today's Health Minute, I'm Meredith Wood.
Next time you go home to your dog, love them a little extra and walk them a little longer. Have your bags been heavier coming from fall break?
Did your closet change seasons? Abby Moore joins us to discuss upcoming temperatures.
Our whole lives are focused around figuring out what we want to do. Here at Quincy University, we can help you find what you want to do. Just take a break and do what you love.
Finding your passion is easy at Quincy University. Whether you're pursuing a bachelor's degree or looking to go even further, at QU, your professional and academic future is bright. 40 undergrad programs include moments that become experiences, connections that become careers, and relationships that become lifelong support. We want you here. That's why we work hard to ensure that a Quincy University education is affordable. Let us help you put together a plan. Visit discover.quincy.edu to get started.
Looks like we finally have our fall weather.
Yeah, I'm happy I get to pull out my sweaters and wear those because the colder temperatures are finally here.
I know, I'm really ready for it too. I know but a few weeks ago also, you know, the temperatures were at 70s, 80s, and now it's slowly declining, becoming 60s, lows in the 40s. So those sweaters are a great thing to have to bring back. I can go ahead and show you that, but first I will be showing you a beautiful time lapse of the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. This is not something that you see every single day. The fog, the beauty of all this, we don't live by an ocean, so this is not something that we normally see, but it's just something that was so beautifully captured and something that we have the honor of seeing. So today we will be having mostly cloudy temperatures this week. We're going to be seeing some weekend storms, and we're going to be having some lows in the 40s today. So for today, our high is 55 degrees and our low is 37. The normal temperature for today in October is 62 degrees and our low is 43 degrees. And the record temperature for today is 93 degrees in 2006 and 18 degrees in 1952. So those are very different, very, very different. I can't imagine it being 18 degrees right now. So thankfully our lows are only in the 40s as of right now. And this past week, this past Friday, if you remember, this past Friday it was a low of 33, and this week lows of 40. So we're kind of getting near that, but I will get into that here in a second. Our conditions for this week: wind coming from the northwest at 14 miles an hour, partly cloudy today, humidity at 48%, and our temperature today, as of right now, is 53 degrees, and it will slowly decline into 37 degrees tonight. In the 30s, 40s as of that. Our sunset, 6:25 p.m. tonight. If you remember, it was way later. You know, a few weeks ago, it used to be 7 o'clock, it was 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock if you remember during the summer, and it's slowly, gradually becoming earlier and earlier as we move on into the winter season. So as we move on tonight, wind coming from the west-northwest at 4 miles an hour, so it'll be light winds tonight, light clouds, Nothing too crazy. Temperature at 37, sunrise coming at 7:17 a.m. And you can also tell that our sunrise is coming in later as well. So our sunset is going earlier and our sunrise is coming later, and that's how you can tell that winter is coming and winter is on its way. Thankfully, our temperatures are not at those 20s yet, so we actually won't talk about that, so we just don't jinx that. Humidity at 79%. Cloudy tonight. As we move into Thursday night, it's going to be completely sunny tomorrow. Very good conditions. Temperature at 64. It's going to be mostly clear. Very light wind tomorrow. Humidity at 59%. Sunset at 6:23, so that's slowly going down as the days go by. Like I said before, winter is on its way. We can only expect that to end up at 5 o'clock, as it's done every winter. Friday, completely sunny all day long. It's going to be a great day, 72 degrees. Wind coming from the south-southeast at 15 miles an hour. And Friday night, mostly clear, low of 53 degrees. Actually, Friday is going to be our highest temperature of the entire week. 72 is going to be the high. And also the rest of the days, as you remember, 60s, lows of 40, so 70, 72 is going to be our high for this week. Low of 53 Friday evening, like I said, and that's actually going to be one of our highest highs because it's 53 degrees right now. Saturday, it's going to be scattered thunderstorms, high of 64 degrees, light storms all the way through the day. And then as we move into the rest of our week, you can tell Friday and Saturday, those clouds are going to be moving in on Saturday, and then Sunday, Monday, and the rest of the week, partly cloudy skies. You can see the highs are in the 60s, not going to reach anywhere near it. It will be on Friday as the high of 72, but we're still going to be having those lows in the 40s and 50s. So our temperatures now are pretty average for fall, and so it's a pretty good time to be outside. Just enjoy this weather before the winter weather comes in, because I know when that comes in, no one wants to be outside, but now it's, you know, it's the time for all that. So it's pretty average. It's nothing too crazy right now.
Yeah, like I said last week, I am excited for this fall weather. But thank you, Abby. The Q women's volleyball team picked up their first conference win of the season.
And the Q lacrosse team has started preparations for their season. That's next in sports.
An oncologist is a cancer doctor. An MRI is a magnetic resonance imaging. Neuroblastoma is a cancer that mostly affects kids.
Do the kids in your grade know these words?
Probably not.
Why do you?
I was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia, but I don't have cancer anymore, and so...
Wait a minute, are you cancer-free?
Yeah.
Serving the nation's poor and vulnerable regardless of faith, and advocating on their behalf, we are Catholic Charities.
CU fall sports have gotten into the thick of their conference schedules.
Some teams even picked up GLVC victories over the weekend. Sports Director Shane Holsey is here with all the details.
Yeah, guys, the men's and women's soccer teams and the volleyball team picked up some impressive wins over the weekend. And we'll start with the ladies from the women's soccer team. Mark Hager's squad came into the weekend having lost 4 of their previous 5 games, but they got back on the winning track with a couple 1-goal victories over the weekend. Let's get right to the highlights. On Friday, the Bearcats from Southwest Baptist made the trip north to face the Hawks, and we'll pick things up in the 6th minute. No score. Watch this ball movement by the Hawks. Mary Maloney's going to settle at the top of the box, and she tucks it into the bottom left corner. Maloney's first goal of the season, and the Hawks go on top 1-0. Still first half, 38th minute, still 1-0 Hawks. Lauren Crane is going to let one fly, and it hits off the crossbar. Grace Hilbing says, "I'll take that." Not the cleanest goal, but a goal nonetheless, and the Hawks take a 2-0 lead into halftime. The Bearcats would get one back in the 58th minute, but Hilbing would strike again. A long ball is going to be sent forward here, and it gets over everyone except Hilbing. In between 3 Bearcat defenders, she gets the shot off somehow, finds the back of the net for the 2nd time on the day. This puts the Hawks up 3-1, and the ladies from Quincy would hang on for a 3-2 victory to start the weekend off on the right foot. Then on Sunday, the Hawks were taking on the Panthers from Drury. They made the trip north from Springfield. We start in the 8th minute. No score. Watch here. Drury goalkeeper Caitlin Konetsky. She's going to try to settle this ball, but she slips and falls. Maddie Bauer never gives up on the play, and she puts it in the back of the net. Bauer's 4th goal of the season puts the Hawks up 1-0. 45th minute now, right before halftime, still tied at 1. Ball's going to be sent into the box, headed down by Paige Anderson. Then Jessica Felix, she's going to let a shot fly. That's saved. Paige Anderson gets it right back and tucks it in to make it 2-1 right before halftime, and that score would stand, and the Hawks would go on to win their 2nd straight game. The Hawks improved their record to 5-6, 4-5 in GOVC play. The men's soccer team had dropped 2 straight games entering the weekend, but they turned things around on Friday. Back to Legend Stadium we go. The Hawks taking on Southwest Baptist after the ladies' thrilling victory over the Bearcats. We pick up the action in the 6th minute. No score. Al-Sadiq Hassan, watch this move. He's going to split 2 defenders, find Anthony Cristante. Cristante, that touch pass for Aubrey Reese. That's just too easy for Reese. Great passing, and the Hawks are on top 1-0. 37th minute now. Hawks still up 1. Reese, he's going to let one fly from the penalty spot. Watch this left foot. Boom, no chance for the keeper. Reese's 7th goal puts the Hawks up 2-0. And to cap it off in the 87th minute, Cooper Reese is going to let one fly from the edge of the 18. Beautiful shot there by Cooper. And the Hawks go up 3-0 and would go on to win by that score. After a loss to Drury on Sunday, the Hawks sit at 6-5, 4-4 in conference play. The Hawks women's volleyball team headed south to Rolla, Missouri to take on Missouri S&T last Thursday. The Hawks lost the first 2 sets by 2 points, won the 3rd set, then lost the 4th set 25-19. Sarah Brown led the way with 11 kills and 7 blocks, and Stephanie Mazier had 10 kills and 3 blocks. The Hawks returned home to take on Maryville on Saturday. Mark Jones' squad took care of business, cruising to a 25-9, 25-21, 25-18 victory. Brown led the Hawks again with 13 kills. Emily Rehagen reached double digits with 11 kills, and Michaela Noblo tallied 31 assists. The Hawks now have won 3 of their last 4 and sit 1 game under 500 at 3-4 in GLVC play. The QU lacrosse team doesn't play an actual game until 4 months from now, but they're already gearing up for their first season. I made it out to practice to get a look at the Hawks' new program and their preparations for spring.
The QU men's lacrosse team's first game isn't for another 4 months, but you wouldn't know it by watching them practice.
Drive.
Head coach Eric Rupel says the Hawks are out to prove they can compete and win in their first year as a program.
Our energy is phenomenal at practice. I've got a bunch of guys who want to be here, who want to make it happen, who understand that this is an uphill battle, and all they want to do is win and prove themselves to the country.
Junior Andrew Borer is a transfer from Concordia University, Ann Arbor. He says he's most looking forward to a fresh start at QU and one other thing.
Just ball out with the brothers, man. I'm ready to play ball again. I'm a transfer, so ready to start something new in a new program. I'm excited.
The Hawks open their season February 15th against Missouri Baptist, followed by their first home game February 26th against St. Ambrose. Freshman defender Julio Fortunio hopes to give Hawk lacrosse fans plenty to cheer about at that home opener.
I'm really looking forward to seeing the whole Quincy town up in our stadium cheering us on, and it's going to be a great feeling just getting that home win.
The Hawks currently have 20 players on their roster. Rupel says they want to add a couple more, but they'll be ready to roll regardless come springtime. It's been a tough go of things lately for the Hawks football team, and the struggles continued last Saturday against Indianapolis. The Hawks fell behind 31-0 in the first half and surrendered 654 yards of total offense to the Greyhounds. The lone bright spot for the Hawks was senior quarterback Andrew Rund. He threw for 304 yards and 3 touchdowns without throwing a pick. The Hawks have now lost 4 straight games, 3 of those being GOVC games. So another tough one for the Hawks, but they'll have a chance to turn things around this weekend, a winnable game against Southwest Baptist. So they're on a losing streak now, but hopefully they can get on a winning one for us.
I hope so. Thank you, Shane. An Indiana high school teacher gets a special surprise at work.
Grab a box of tissues. You won't want to miss this.
Taught him how to hit a baseball, how to hit a receiver, the strike zone, the net. You taught him how to hit the upper corner. You even taught him how to hit the open man. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit?
Welcome back. We leave you today with a feel-good story out of the Indianapolis area. High school teacher Lisa Hark got a much welcome surprise while at work last week. Here's a look at her special surprise.
I was in a basic training at Fort Jackson and AIT training at Fort Jackson. And I just finished that, the 17 weeks of all that.
Now it's all over, and you there. I'm proud of you. For all we can, here you come.
I'm a religious affairs specialist for the 6 Mike.
How'd you lie to your mom? You just told her that you were going to Kansas?
Mm-hmm. She's been a teacher here for, I think, a year. She's been there for the journey of me going through the Army and everything. And thought it would just be fun to surprise her when she's not expecting anything. I'm actually nervous and excited at the same time, but I think, yeah, I'm just going to go in the class when she's teaching everybody.
She doesn't know you're going to be here for 2 weeks?
No.
She thinks you're going straight to Fort Riley?
Yeah. She's going to cry. I'm going to give her a hug, and it's going to be a bunch of tears.
You got a guest here wants to talk to you.
Okay, sure.
Oh my gosh, I was just shocked. We just came back from his graduation, so he wasn't going to be coming home. So seeing him today has been an inspiration and joy. Having him home. It's amazing. I'm just happy that he's here and that we get to spend some time with him. Thank you so much for letting him come home.
Okay, those stories are the absolute best. Like, they're my favorite of all time.
Yeah, it leaves me with a smile on my face and a couple tears in my eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're absolutely the best. If you haven't told your mom you love her today, please do it. She'll appreciate it.
It's a wonderful story for sure. For Abby, Taylor, and Shane, I'm Alexa. Have a great rest of your day, but don't forget to give your mom a hug and tell her you love her. See you next week.